Hey everybody, it's Kate Peters. Let me see, are we recording yet? It's always that delay. So let me just see if we got this going. Happy Saturday to everybody. Let's see, hopefully this is already on. Let's see. Yeah, yay. Okay, alrighty. Oh, I'm sitting here. I don't know if you can see my new chair I got. I'll tell you something, as entrepreneurs, we don't think enough about our chairs. And I will tell you, this is somebody who did a lot with ergonomics in my previous life. Make sure you got a good chair. So I'm just throwing that in. That's not why I'm here today, but I just want to share that. That's super critical. So everyone, good morning. Say hi so I know you're there. That would be nice. Let me know who's there. Let me know where you're from, and all that kind of stuff, so I can say hello to you. I'm broadcasting off my laptop, but I'm looking at my iPhone to see who might be there. So good morning, everybody. Got some cool stuff I want to share. I know it's been a while, and I've got some cool stuff I want to share because, I've kind of been, it's kind of a weird word, but I've kind of been like lurking around on Facebook as I've been going through this grief process. And in case you don't know, my dad passed away. It's been a month now. I can't believe it. And if you've ever been through this, you find that you don't have the same energy to do what you normally do. So I did find I was on Facebook an awful lot, not necessarily responding or commenting, but just kind of just seeing like what's going on. And truthfully, it was more just out of like rote habit as opposed to true interest. Just to be really honest with you, because especially in the beginning when it first happened, your brain cells are not really there. So you're just kind of doing stuff to do stuff. So I was really just checking to see what was going on, because I don't usually spend a huge amount of time on Facebook. I kind of do what I need to do and comment on my friends' stuff or someone I'm following stuff, and then I kind of get off. But anyway, so I've got something cool I want to share with all of you. So good morning. Hey, Leslie, how are you? Leslie, I'm so glad to see you. Leslie actually said something really that just touched my heart when my dad passed away. So I called her up. She actually posted something on Facebook, and she's the only person during that week I actually called and said thank you, because it just really touched my heart. So anyways, so good morning to everybody, and let me know that you're here. We've got a beautiful day here in Boston. Let me know where you're from, and I've got some cool stuff I want to share about your business. So please go ahead and share it too, as you're getting some stuff too. So one thing I was noticing, and I know I'm not the only one, because I saw so many posts about this in Facebook, is that we're all seeing all this stuff on Facebook, right? And it seems like, have you noticed sometimes it seems almost like there's more ads than real stuff? I mean, buy this thing, buy that thing, buy my done for you. I have this joke with my friends that you see all these Facebook ads with the story, like one day I was like living on my car, and I didn't have any money, and I was eating mud, and I had no clothes to wear, and it's a total poverty story. And within 24 hours, I figured it out, and bam, I made 7 figures overnight. And you sit there and go like, that is such shit. I'm just sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but come on, we all know that's just like a bunch of shit. And truthfully, I was seeing so much of that on Facebook. I was just getting really, truly annoyed, because when I first saw it, and I don't know about you guys, but it really, it inspired me. I'm being really honest with you. My first year of business, man, those ads really inspired me. And of course, there were a whole lot less of them at that point, too. I mean, this is 6.5 years later, and it's way over 6.5 many times ads that there used to be. And of course, it inspired and gave me hope. Did that resonate with any of you? Like when you'd see these things at first when you're brand new in your business, like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it too. And, so that's what I really thought in the beginning. I'm like, wow, they did it. And they were eating mud and had no, I mean, I wasn't eating mud, but I was eating, in the very beginning, almond butter sandwiches. That was like my go-to food, because in the beginning, of course, I wasn't making any money. So that was my thing. I've heard people tell me they ate oatmeal, all sorts of stuff, so it's kind of like you eat the same boring food day after day after day, until you made some money. So anyways, there's something in kind of common I noticed, besides all the story, besides pushing away all that crap. This thing I kind of noticed, this common theme, and that's really what I want to talk to you about today. I'm not here to make fun of the ads. I mean, we can do that at another time, but that's really what I want to share with you, what to take away, because I think there's something there that can really help you grow your business. So again, good morning, everybody. Please tell me who's here. Say hello. Let me just see if I can see on Facebook. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. And if you're somewhere sunny, please keep sending us sunshine in Boston because we could definitely use it. So anyways, like I said, I'm seeing all these ads, and I'm sure you guys have seen them too, where, the rags to riches story. And of course, it always happens overnight that they figured it out, magic, boom, 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 right? And now they're going to sell you their done for you formula, or how to do it, or exactly, or what are the other words they use? Exactly, done for you. I'm trying to think, connect the dots, all this kind of stuff, right? I'm just trying to think. Sorry, it's Saturday morning. I can't think of all the exact words. But the thing is that I've noticed is whether it's how to do Facebook ads, whether it's how to do a best-selling book, whether it's how to speak from stage, webinar, what the heck else are there? I know I'm thinking of, there's so many other things that I'm not even thinking of. They're all that stuff that you have to do, and they're going to teach you. They're going to teach you exactly what they did, and then you're going to go do it, and you're going to also have your rags to riches story, right? And then you can do your Facebook ad and say you did the same thing. But the thing is that what it all leads down to is it all leads down to ultimately having a sales conversation, right? Because even if you do, you learn to speak from stage, or even if you do a Facebook ad, or you do whatever, you still ultimately have to talk to somebody. I mean, bottom line, you do. Unless you're like way, way, way up there, you're like a Tony Robbins or some big, big, huge guru. Most people want to know kind of what are you going to do for them. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. And there's only a few that really fit into that group that people just automatically like, yep, I'm signing up. I don't care what they're selling. Most of us have to have some kind of conversation, and it could be from it could be from the stage, right? Because it doesn't necessarily always have to be one-on-one. It could be from stage that you're doing it. It could be on a webinar you're doing it, a phone call. It could be in person, wherever, networking event. It doesn't really matter. At some point, you do have to have that conversation, formal or informal, of why the person should invest with you. Do you guys agree? Let me know your thoughts, because even when I see these things, I just invested this morning. It wasn't a big investment, but I saw a course on something I was kind of interested in, and I invested this morning. Again, unplanned. It was only a couple $100. It wasn't a big investment, but I'm an avid learner like everybody, that I'm connected with. And I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I want to learn. And sure enough, it leads to having that sales conversation. Now, that's not what she's teaching. She's teaching something else. But sure enough, it always leads to sales conversation. So have you guys found that too? Because ultimately, you can have that best-selling book, you can have this, you can have that, but you have to still have that conversation. Okay? So are you following me so far? I know it's Saturday morning. Maybe you haven't had your coffee or your tea or whatever you drink, your smoothie yet, but is this resonating? I just want to kind of take a look and see. Let's see. Just check and see. Hi, Rhonda from Boise. Oh, Leslie, thank you so much. Leslie, I just seen Leslie's comment. It was totally, you touched my heart so much, so thank you for that. Hey, Stephanie, Jamaica. Thank you. Good morning. And Catherine from Perth, Australia. And Patricia, you're in sunny California. And Cheryl, good morning. So, hey, everybody. Yeah, it's, and thank you guys for being with me this morning. This was kind of like an unplanned thing that, sometimes you just kind of go for a walk in the morning. You're like, yeah, this is what I need to do. And one thing I have found, kind of off the subject, but I really and truly want to share it with you, is that since this happened with my dad, I don't think I've ever been more present. I don't think I've ever been more in touch with what feels right for me. And this is really weird. I'm just kind of sharing it. It's off the subject. And again, not that I wish any of you to go through this, but as a type A, where I'm very much a planner, I'm very strategic, and now you do this, and now you do that, I have found that I don't think I've ever been more in touch with really just honoring what always feels right for me at that moment. And wow, it's a really, really powerful thing. Again, that's not what I'm here to teach you. I just kind of want to share that. And I don't know if any of you have ever been through something like this for whatever reason, where you're just really in touch. You just keep asking yourself, like, is this right? Do I feel like doing it? Is this right? And anyway, so that's kind of why I'm here this morning, is that I woke up and I was like, gee, I really want to go do a Facebook Live. I haven't done one in a month. I was talking to a friend of mine, Carrie, yesterday, and she's like, you should be doing it. I'm like, Carrie, I just don't even want, right at that moment, I said, like, I didn't have the energy, didn't want to do it. But today I got up and I said, like, there's some stuff I really want to share with you guys. So, Catherine, thank you for saying it is relevant. Yeah, it really, really is, all this stuff going on. And so, again, what I really just wanted to share with you is that as I was lurking this past month on Facebook, again, not really commenting, just kind of seeing what's going on in the threads, what's posting, I just kept seeing all these ads, the rags to riches. Like I joke that living, like people living in their cars, like no money, and they were eating mud or dirt or whatever, and they're wearing rags, and all of a sudden they figure out the magic formula, make $1 million overnight, and now they're going to teach you exactly what they did. So you kind of benefit from it, right? And of course, I just like laugh because I just exaggerate more and more in the stories. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, of course, no one says they're eating mud, but that's what I kind of say. That they were like eating mud and they had no money and, blah, 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 blah. So, and oh, hey, Carrie and Leslie live to see. Yeah. Leslie just put the gift when someone passes, we really get in touch with what matters, and that's totally true. And I never expected it in this way. I thought it'd be more like let's say maybe pushing away from materialistic things or something. I mean, beforehand, I never got how I would feel this way, but I really and truly do, and I think it's a huge gift. As sad as I am about my dad, I am trying to, and it's still so recent, but I'm really trying to find the gifts and all this, and this has just been a huge gift of just saying, like, what feels right, and if I want to do it, great, and if I don't want to do it, screw it, fuck it, I'm not doing it, and again, that's very untype A, because type A, we're very much about, like, we said we'd do it, and we're going to do it, and damn it, I'm going to do it, come hell or high water, right? Is anyone else a type A here where you know what I'm talking about? And that's just not what's going on for me. I'm just like, hey, if I want to do it, great. And if I change my mind, don't want to do it, I change my mind. And again, this is very un-Kate-like, very un-type A-like, but it actually feels really, really good, just to be really honest with you guys, to kind of get away from all that shit and get away from keeping up with the Joneses and feeling this need to do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, Carrie, you're really liking that I'm swearing a lot, huh? Carrie cracks me up because you guys have to understand, I was brought up in Boston, and Boston is provincial, for lack of a better word. I mean, very much about manners and, like my mom was born in Chicago, then of course she moved here, because obviously that's where I grew up, but even my mom like studied Emily Post and all the rules and etiquette, and I grew up at the stage like you could not swear. I mean, if you swore, your mouth was washed out with soap. No, that never happened to me, but it was threatened many times, to watch my mouth and all that. Because when I became that rebellious little, teenager at like 13, 14 or something. So I still to this day, I always feel like, I'm comfortable swearing. So it's just all those years of conditioning. And to be honest with you, it's probably the least important thing that I feel I need to tap on at this point in my life. But anyways, I do occasionally swear every now and then. So, but anyways, so yeah, so like I said, I've just kind of been lurking and observing, because the thing that's really, really occurred to me, and it's not just like brand new, I just been really straight. It isn't like all of a sudden this thing popped up a couple weeks ago. It's been in my brain for a while that I just see all this stuff about like, you got to do everything all these ways and follow certain people and do all this stuff and keep up with the Joneses and spend way more money than you want to spend and all this other garbage. And truthfully, I did not become an entrepreneur for this, right? And one thing just so you guys know, I do for profitable business, right? I know a lot of seven-figure coaches who are making seven figures and do not have a profit. I can happily stand here and say, I'm making money, I have a profitable business. And that to me is what matters, right? So anyways, what I want to talk about is, like even this course I bought this morning, everything, even with all these stories about buy this thing, buy that thing, do this, do that, everything always is leading back to the sales conversation. Because even if you, sorry, just looking at Carrie's comment, and she just said, I believe that your business can't really take off until you have that fuck it moment. Oh, Carrie, I said it again, and you're right. It is, because otherwise, oh, I'm really off the tangent, but I'm just going to share this anyways. I talked to a coach, a high seven-figure coach. I was going to be in her coaching program several years ago. And the big thing she said to me is like, Kate, are you coachable? We do exactly what we tell you to do. And I was like, no, I'm sorry. I just won't do exactly what you tell me to do. And that's because I look at it that I'm pretty intelligent. And some things, absolutely, that's why I would be in someone's coaching program, because I want to learn what to do. But I also look at, I have the right to disseminate what makes sense for me, because my goals might be different than their goals. And we all have different visions of what we want our business to look like, right? And I look at it that a coach, a mentor should be there to guide you. But what's most important is to really understand what it is I want to create, what you want to create, and then help us get to that place as opposed to following everybody, which again, back to Carrie's thing about the fuck it moment. Yeah, because otherwise what's the point of this shit, right? I mean, otherwise we could all just go get jobs. It would be so much easier. I said this all the time, just go get a job then. Otherwise, because you don't have any decisions. You don't even have to decide what you want in your business card. I mean, corporate gives it to you. But anyways, I'm digressing. And good morning, everybody who's just joining. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. I see Kristen just joined. So we're talking. I'm trying to teach, but we're also totally off the subject too. But again, it's cool. So what I wanted to share with you guys is that all these courses, even this course this morning I bought, still leads back to the sales conversation, because what they were teaching, and I'm not going to say the person's name or what the course was, but ultimately leads back to this really cool thing, right? That ultimately leads back to having discovery sessions, having strategy sessions. So again, everything leads back to sales, right? It does, you can do all this other stuff. You can spend all this money. You can have these fancy websites and this and that. And all stuff is great. I'm not saying don't do it. But ultimately, you still got to learn how to sell to people, right? Because you have to understand why they need you, and you have to understand why you can help them. And I feel like very often that's the part that's avoided. I mean, we're all, everyone gets so caught up with all the bright, shiny object shit, or the fear of missing out, FOMO and all this other kind of stuff. Instead of just talking to one another, right? And to me, one of my big things, my core value is integrity, but to me, I am a connector. I'm an introvert, a bit of an introvert. I'm also very shy, but I love connecting. That's why when Leslie posted that comment, I reached out. Instead of just saying, thank you, Leslie, for your kind words, I reached out, picked up the phone and called her, because that's who I am. I'm a connector. I like to talk to people. I want to know who you are. I want to know about you. I want to share, because to me, that's what life's about, is sharing those mutual experiences. And on some level, whatever it might be, finding that place that we can connect, and from that, whether it's in a big way or small way or whatever, grow. And, that's kind of what it is. So for me, I love sales conversations, not for like thinking it's a sales, like, oh, you say this and they say that, and it's like these two talking heads back and forth, and then finally you say, give me your credit card now, give me your credit card. And that's not what I'm talking about. It's more just kind of coming to this mutual understanding that what they really want. They understand how you work. Is it a good fit? And then how do you kind of like come together, right? And figure out how because then these two hands are a whole lot stronger than this hand or this hand separately. So that's why I look at sales conversations. I just believe it's so important to master that, because otherwise, again, you're just skirting around the issue. And I see people, myself included, I spend tens of thousands of dollars getting all this training in tapping, EFT and all that. I'm very, very good at it. I'm one of the top people, that there is in it. But again, if I can't get people to want to work with me, then all I have is this talent. Or expertise. I don't have the ability to make the transformations and help people shift and change and grow. So is this making sense, you guys? Is this like resonating with you guys? Tell me. I'm just see who's here. Excuse me. So the thing that I find that throws people off is that even people will tell me. All the experts, agree that you gotta know how to sell, right? That's kind of a given. Also, I don't know if you know this, but in any company, the highest paid people are typically the salespeople. The CEO or someone, is usually higher paid, but typically the highest group is the salespeople. They're the highest paid group. That's because they know how to bring in money. Okay, so they'll let go admin, they'll let go this person, that person, whatever. But when you know how to sell, you've got this amazing talent. And the other thing I love about sales too is that, I'm always in control of my income. If I need to make more money, it just means I need to pick up the phone, or I need to get out there and start engaging in more conversations, right? And when you have a definite system and you're always talking to people on a regular basis, you always have money coming in. Just plain and simple. It doesn't involve a lot of flash. It doesn't involve big, huge lists. It doesn't involve having the fancy DNC stuff. It doesn't involve having a huge team, any of that other kind of stuff. It's just, talking, whether, again, in person, on the stage, workshop, webinar, whatever. It's just being able to do it. Now, the thing I find that people get stuck at, and this is what I really want to focus on today, is that, you might know about sales conversations. You might even have taken a course about sales conversations. So you kind of understand the gist of what you're saying, about creating the gap and all this kind of stuff, and that's great. But I find where people typically get stuck is all the stuff playing around their head. Because I would find that with my clients when I teach them, is that they're like, okay, this is great, but then, the buts, the buts pop up. And the biggest ones I hear are things like, they don't want to get rejected, right? And of course, I'd be a liar if I told you I didn't have that feeling too. I mean, everybody feels like that. I mean, because who wants to have a conversation and the person say like, I'm sorry, this isn't what I'm looking for, or I'm sorry, I don't have the money or the budget, or it's not the right time, or whatever. And nobody wants to put themselves out. I mean, why would anyone say, yep, I appreciate getting rejected, right? I mean, nobody does. We all want to do that, but the problem is that rejection can be something so big and so powerful that even though you technically know, yep, I should make sales conversation, that should word, which I know there's been a lot of talk about, get that word out of your vocabulary. So even if you say, I'd like to make sales conversations, but I don't want someone saying no to me, I don't want them rejecting me, I don't want them telling me no, whatever, that is going to be so much more powerful, it's going to stop you. So it's like you're getting so close, but then you're stopped. And that's kind of a shame, because if you know deep in your heart that you could actually help that person, whether it's to help them lose weight, whether it's to help them get more visibility on social media, whether it's to help them with their copy or figure out their messaging, or whatever the heck it is, branding, it doesn't really matter. If you know that you're the one to help them, but you don't want them to reject you first, it's like you're giving your whole, it's like you're giving your power away. And that's what I want you guys to really hear, is you're giving your power away on something that could happen, right? You don't know for sure if it will, but it could happen. So it's like you're stopping yourself before you're starting. Okay, so is that resonating with anybody listening? We're talking about? Because those are the things I find that stop people. And it's true for any of these courses that you take, is that all the stuff that plays over and over again in our heads. So what I want to share with you is that I am actually hosting a live event in about 2 months, Conversations to Clients Live, and I'm going to be teaching you what to say. Now, again, I'm going to be really straight, I'm not giving you a done-for-you script, because I believe each of us have our own personalities. We all need to sell in a way that feels good, that feels authentically. But I'm going to give you the form, I'm going to give you the foundation, I'm going to give you the structure, and then you use your personality, you use your words. Like if you're in the South, you're going to say hey a lot, because people in the South say hey. I'm from Boston, we say hi, so it's going to be your words, so it sounds authentic, there's no disconnect. But I'm also going to be so you're going to get really comfortable with what to say, you're going to know what to say, you're going to have your own script of what to say that you can use as an outline, but we're also going to spend a good portion of the time also focusing on all the inner stuff that we talk about. So we're going to be doing transformational work on the fear of rejection. We're going to be doing transformational work around money, your views around money, the things like you can never charge that much. I have people tell me like, I don't pay my lawyer that much. Well, it's like, that's your lawyer's problem. That's not my problem. I can teach your lawyer how to charge more money. But so we're going to be dealing with all the mindset stuff that pops up, because I don't want to I could have spent 2 days just teaching you guys what to say, but I want to have you guys walk away with a level of confidence. So even if someone does say no to you, because they will, right? It's pretty rare to get 100%, that you're going to feel really comfortable, and you're going to be able to say next and move forward to the next person. We're going to be getting you aligned with your money story. So whether you're selling something for $75 or $7,500 or $75,000, doesn't make a difference, that you're still going to feel really aligned with what your offer is. And we're also going to be talking about, being able to make the offer. I'm sure you guys have heard people on stage or heard people in webinars where the voice all of a sudden changes. The voice cracks, they talk fast, they talk slow. They kind of like mumble their words when they say it's like, I'm going to do something, or whatever, because they feel so uncomfortable. We're going to be doing work on shifting that. So the way we're doing it is doing it through tapping, which again, you don't need to know. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Lots of laws of attraction stuff. So that way, when you walk out at the end of the 2 days, it's not going to be like you're going to have a binder full of notes. I mean, sure, you can take some notes, but the thing is that you're going to have transformed during our time together, and you're just going to be ready to go. I've been to too many events where, I have this whole big binder. I don't have a binder near me right now, but a binder full of stuff that, honest to goodness, maybe I look at on the flight home, but I never ever look at again. That's not what I want from you guys. I want you guys to be able to make these transformations while we're together, be able to answer questions, get hot seats, all that kind of stuff. So you'll be able to have those transformations and be more comfortable. So if you want to register now before pricing goes up, it's conversationstoclientslive.com, and that's conversationstoclientslive.com. And like I said, we're going to be doing all the transformational stuff. So yes, I'm going to be teaching you the structure of what you say, how to say it, all that kind of stuff, what order to say it. I'm also going to explain why. Um, I think it's great if you're told what to do, but what I believe is super critical is to understand the why, because that way it'll help you get to the next level and help create some independence that you understand. So if something pops up, you'll be able to kind of make some shifts on your own, that you'll really understand the logic behind everything. And then we're going to have a field day with, honest to goodness, lots of tapping, mindset. You're going to be in a group of very, very safe environment, people bringing up their fears, their doubts, all that kind of stuff. You're going to resonate with probably 90% of them, because there's going to be a lot of overlap and everything. And you're going to be able to walk out of there with just so much more confidence, saying, yeah, I've got this thing covered. And that's what I want for you, because I believe that's the fastest path to cash. Whether you write your book, whether you do your webinars, whether you speak from stage, whether you have your branding, Facebook ads, whatever, you know. And that's the thing that's so great about what I'm teaching you, is it applies everywhere, you know. So it's not just going to show up as one little area of your life and your business. It'll make a difference everywhere. And I would love for you to be there. So, hey, Colleen, good morning, Colleen. Nice to see you. Colleen's like 2 hours early, so she's probably just waking up and grabbing her cup of coffee. So it's nice to see you. And everybody else who's just joining, I would love for you, we've had some really great conversations so far. We'd love for you to say hello, let me know who you are, where you're from, share this, and of course, come to the event. I'll tell you, I'm limiting the size. I'm not looking for a zillion people at this. I really, like I was saying earlier, I'm a connector. I really want to get to know each of you and understand kind of, you know, as best as I can during 2 days, is get a sense of who you are, what makes you tick, and to be able to help you get to where you want to be. That's really, really important to me. So who's got some thoughts and questions? And I'm curious too, what are your, you know, when you think about making sales conversations, what pops up? You know, I mentioned some of the fears, you know, fear of getting rejected. There's also another one, who don't want to bother people. You know, fear that it's too expensive. Another fear I heard from clients is, we used to call it the good news, bad news, is that, okay, the client said yes to me. Now the bad news is, now I got to figure out how to make all this happen. You know, so what are your fears? Go ahead, type them in. I'm taking a look and see, and I'll let you know what I suggest about that. Maybe it's a fear I haven't even thought of yet. I'd be curious, although I did a lot of research on this. I did surveys. I've been working with clients for 6.5 years on this topic. So, you know, I hear, you know, too much competition. Why should they work with me? I'm trying to think what else. We talk about rejection. We talk about not wanting to bother. Talk about the money. And, you know, also the fear of being able to deliver what you promise. I'm a big fan of under promising and over delivering. That's something I got. You know, I heard my connection at Staples, where I get all my forms and paperwork and all that for my events. I recently switched to a new Staples, and that's what this guy who is head of it told me. That's his philosophy. And damn, that's exactly what he did. The stuff I needed was done early. It was priced better than he expected, and it looked better. I mean, he's got a fan for life. I love being able to under promise, over deliver. I love when I do things like that, and people go like, wow, I just didn't expect all this cool stuff would happen. Because, you know, I think we're all kind of jaded with all this crap we're seeing out there, that I think it's much more authentic and sincere. So talking about how to deal with that stuff. So just curious, are there any fears or doubts that I have not mentioned that pop up for you when you think about this? Just take a look and see. Taking a look at my phone to see if there's anything that I didn't say. And if you think of something later, you know, add it on to this forum, and I'll take a look and see if it's something I can answer for you. And again, I'd love to see you at conversationstolive.com. The event is in a little less than 2 months. Ticket price is going up soon, and it's a brand new event for me, so I'm really, really excited. I feel like, it's funny, I planned this brand new ages ago, and I feel like it's now serendipitously, that's a hard word to say on a Saturday morning, it kind of all worked out exactly as it should. So everybody, I want to just wish you guys a good Saturday morning. I'm off to get my nails done, which I feel is a nice thing to do on this day, and then enjoy the rest of my day, and I hope all of you guys will have a wonderful weekend. Take care.